My fingers must be cold. Okay, there we go. All right. So it is my privilege to be here today with Miss Alli Newhouse. Some of you know Alli already. I'm getting to know Alli better. I've had the opportunity to watch you compete. I watched you at Miss Washington last year. I judged her at Miss Pierce County this year. And today we just got done working together on walk, right? We did some fitness, did some evening gown. How are you feeling?
I feel good, a lot better, just getting prepared for local season. It's a whirlwind that it's already here, but it's so much fun, and I'm so excited to continue to work with you as we move forward.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. So tell me, you took some time off this year, and I'm just curious to know, because a lot of women, because we have access to open pageants now, you can really get caught up in competing. And so I know that in some cases that can be great practice, but in other cases, maybe it can start to become, heavy, I'm not achieving the results that I want, or I'm not seeing the progress that I want. So how has it been for you stepping back, taking a little time off, which I know is sort of self-imposed and life-imposed, but tell me where you're at now in your headspace and what taking a little time off has meant for you, since you're not going back to Miss Washington this summer.
Yeah, it's been a really nice change to be able to step back and just support my sister queens from the class of 2023, see the new ones be crowned in 2024. I still feel very much a part of it, even though I'm not on stage competing.
Yes. Well, you were just up there crowning. Crowning girls at the sweeper competition last weekend.
I crown Ellie who I have known since she was 13. And it's a little crazy that she's a miss now, but it's just been really nice to be able to still be involved without having the pressure of competing, knowing that I'm going to come back eventually.
How are you looking at competition for yourself differently than you were last year when you were headed into the Miss Washington competition?
It's definitely an experience. I had never been to Miss Washington before last year, and so I had no clue what to expect. But I was blessed with Gabby Sturgill as my roommate, who knew exactly what she was going into and was able to kind of guide me in that.
What a gift!
I know, it really was. And so that really allowed me to know what I'm going into when I do return to Miss Washington, and knowing that I have the capability to put my best self on that stage.
Right. Gabby's such an experienced competitor, and almost
I'm so
having
thankful.
a big sis, right, in the room with you to walk you through the experience. That's really cool. I forgot you two were roommates. Okay, so as you go back to local competition this year, what are some areas that you're focusing on for yourself?
So I'm kind of changing the way that I go about things. I went into talent thinking that I needed to be very technical in previous years. And now I'm going into it very much looking for the entertainment side and being able to still have fun with my dance while being technical, but showing a lot of personality.
I love that.
And working on interview and making sure that I'm the best that I can be so that I can put that forward.
For sure. It was so much fun judging you at Pierce County this year, which I'm not judging anymore because of offering coaching services to contestants. But I did get the chance to do it this year. And you were just such a great contestant. First runner-up this year at Miss Pierce County. I was a Miss Pierce County, so that it was fun to have that with you this year. But I just wanted to say, Alli, you are one of the most relaxed interviews. You're just easy to get to know. You're very pleasant inside the interview room. And so as a judge, I really enjoyed you very much. You were one of the women that I felt like, man, if I could just go get coffee with her, I would love to get to know her better. And so I really valued that in our time together inside the interview room. So as you're thinking about interview, what are some areas that you feel like you really want to focus in on, hone, and be most prepared for? What are you kind of strategizing for this competition?
A lot of it is just being prepared in myself and being confident in myself.
Yes.
I am one of those people in an interview that tries to answer the best for the judges, not for myself. And that's something that now that I've taken that step back, I noticed. And so I'm knowing going into it now that I really just need to go into it confident in myself and answer to what I want to answer, not what I think other people want me to hear.
Right. Yeah. Good for you, girl. All right, so we're bringing a new talent to the stage. we know where we're headed with interview. What are you doing for CSI this year? How are you serving in the community?
Yeah, so my CSI is being the best you living with disabilities.
Say that one more time slowly so that old people can get it one more time.
Being the best you living with disabilities.
Okay.
And I am actually next Saturday volunteering for the Special Olympics swimming competition. I am a coach and volunteer with Girls on the Run 5K.
Oh my.
So I'm doing a lot right now, and it's just all in the West Sound community, and I'm very excited to be running for Miss West Sound again. And so that's just really, I have a lot planned, a lot that I want to do, and a lot that I'm currently in the process of doing.
Yeah. So what is it like to think about returning? I just think it's a huge compliment when you can go back and go through an experience again and people want you back, because that really is a testament to you, my dear.
I did not tell anyone that I was signing up for West Sound. Everybody thought that I would return to Pierce County. And I love Pierce County, but my heart and my home is in West Sound. And so when I applied, that was kind of what I wanted to go back to. Everything that I'm doing for my CSI is in West Sound. Everything that I volunteer for is in Kitsap County. And so it just made sense for me to return back to that. I love the board, the program, the people. I mean, I've met some of my really good friends through this organization. And so I just keep wanting to continue that.
Okay, so huge shout out to the Miss West Sound organization, because A, you produce amazing young women, and B, if they want to come back and spend another season with you, what are you guys doing up there? Truly have so much fun together, right? And that's what we should be doing in pageant. We should be having fun in what we're doing. It can be very stressful. It can be very challenging, right? But to have a group of people around you who make it fun and keep it light. Now you have some family history with pageant. You're not the only one.
No.
So share a little bit about that.
So I was Miss West Sound's teen 2017. And in that time, my sister had also ran with me. And so it kind of became this thing that we did together. And then she has a 5-year-old. So she kind of stopped, but she still has been one of the number one people in my life in terms of pageants. I mean, she picked out dresses for me. She's judged my interview for me. She is the best talent person, because she'll tell me what looks good and what doesn't. But it's just been, I'm very honored to have her with me.
I love that. I love that. So let's see. How many pageants has Alli competed in so far? Do you know?
I did open sweeper for the very first Miss competition that I ever competed in 2020.
We're looking at Mom. Mom is on camera over here.
I think 2022.
Help us, Mom, with the history.
It was 2022, because then I competed at West Sound Evergreen 2023. Got first runner-up. Competed at Pierce County 2023. Got first runner-up. Went back to Open Sweeper 2023. Won Miss Puget Sound. And then Pierce County again 2024. So 5.
Okay. That's amazing. So in all of that time, you haven't gotten bored with it?
No.
Okay. In all of that time, you haven't been burned out by it? No. So what do you know today that you wish you would have known? That if yourself today could give you back then, the first time ever that you competed, a piece of advice? Because it's super overwhelming, right?
It is.
Like, what's one thing that you would say to yourself or to another young woman in that situation, and that in her shoes, if you were in her shoes?
I think the biggest thing for me is I wish I would have started earlier, just because I've gained so much from this organization. I have the job that I have because of this organization.
How old were you when you started?
When I was teen, 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And you wish you would have started what, at 13?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, Mom.
I also took some time off to go to college.
Yeah.
So I took 3 years off in that time. So I think I wish I would have kept with it a little bit, or at least maybe just taken a year off, just because I have grown so much. I have the job that I have now. I have been able to experience so much, and one of my best friends came from within this organization, and so it would have been nice if we would have had each other sooner, but it is something that you just need to go for, and you're not going to win every pageant, and that's something that I personally have experienced a lot, but every pageant that I have gotten first runner-up at or haven't placed at has taught me a new lesson about myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm taking into the future competitions and future pageants.
Yeah. I'm just curious what it was like. We always like to say the more you lose, the more you win, right?
Yes.
Because you get that opportunity for some self-introspection, which is needed and sometimes hard to do. But you also get the opportunity for additional scholarships to come back and compete again, to be that much older and wiser the next time you hit the stage, especially if we're looking to progress to the role of Miss Washington and then on to the Miss America stage. Having just that much more experience under your belt can be very beneficial. But I'm curious to know, as you are looking ahead to working your way back to Miss Washington again this next year in 2025.
That's crazy.
What are you thinking about in terms of what you would want people to know about the kind of Miss Washington that you would be?
I'm very CSI based, so my community service is something that I hold very close to my heart. In my CSI essay, I say this isn't a right now passion, this is a past and a future passion. As someone with a disability, I don't get to get rid of that. I don't get to just walk out tomorrow and not have it. And so that's something that I'm very, very passionate about, is making sure that we are treating those with disabilities with kindness and we know how to approach them. Don't be scared to ask them a question. Don't be scared to ask about their disability, because they prefer that rather than someone staring at them and wondering, what's going on with you? Yeah.
So what's your disability?
I am deaf in my left ear and I wear a hearing aid in my right ear. I was born like that. We found out when I was 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh, Mom, that's a long time to wait. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had always put me on behind the passenger or the driver's side. So my right ear, which was my hearing ear, was always towards them. So we didn't know any different. And then when I turned 5, I got my hearing aid, and I just got a new hearing aid a little over a year ago? Yeah, a little over a year ago. And so I'm still living with it, still have to go to my audiologist. And
wow. So, I mean, I wonder, did your mother and your older sister, I mean, everybody just must have thought that you just weren't paying attention all the time. Is that, why doesn't she listen?
Yeah, they definitely thought I was ignoring them sometimes. And then we went to the doctor and they were like, no, she's deaf.
Okay, so it wasn't until you actually had that appointment where they do the check with the raise your hand for the sound type thing, or? Yeah, and then that was the first time that anybody knew. Wow.
But I didn't have to do any of like the hearing tests at school, so that was kind of cool.
You're excused.
Yeah. I got to like read a book with the teacher while everybody else was doing the test.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Like, no, I already know.
Yeah, so that part was fun.
Yeah. So how has that affected you? So, I mean, just little things like swimming or, other activities, or potentially, wearing a hearing aid since you were a young person, potentially losing it. I mean, how many kids get braces and lose their you just forget about things sometimes, right? Oh no, I lost my retainer, kid?
No, I when I was 6, I left my hearing aid at school, and we had to call the principal to unlock the school. And then when I was 10, my dog ate it.
Oh no, it really, like the dog ate it. Oh wow, okay. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, and so we had to buy a new one.
Yeah.
And then recently we just got a new one because my other one was out of date. So
okay, all right. Well, that's fair.
Yeah, that one nothing happened to. We just needed a new one.
You were due. All right, new technology. You need that new technology. And so how does that affect you, like when you're out? So I know, like I took Vanessa, our current Miss Washington, out to dinner earlier on in the year, and she just had her hearing aid placed, and we went to a restaurant and it was really noisy. And so we actually ended up changing our table so that we could sit like literally this close to each other so that she could hear me more easily. And so that it was, and she does lip read also. Yeah. So that really having that. So how does it affect you with just lifestyle and different things that you would do, but you have to make a modification?
I don't usually make modifications. Because I've had it since I was so little. I've kind of learned and adjusted. If you ask any of my friends, they all stand on this side of me because they know that I'm not going to hear them if they're over
You just
here.
did that. Yeah. You just set that up this way. You're like, oh, this is my good side. Oh, okay.
I'm very good at placing myself where I need to be.
Right.
In terms of loud restaurants, I have an app on my phone that connects to my hearing aid. And I can adjust the volume. It has the ability to, if I were to give it to my mom, she can speak into it and it connects to my hearing aid. I have 3 different sound levels, so depending on what I'm doing or where I'm at, I can turn it up and down as needed.
That's so cool. Wow, the technology we have today.
Right?
And now you have no excuse for not responding when your mother
Exactly,
says something.
Exactly.
I know you're hearing me.
Yeah, but I don't really ever modify anything just because I've had it my whole life. I don't know any different.
Yeah.
And so everything that I do it full-heartedly. I'm very good at taking my hearing aid out if I'm going swimming or to the lake or anything like that.
Yeah. How does it, you're a dancer. So how has that affected your ability to interpret music? Do you wear the hearing aid while you're dancing? Yes.
I do. When I was in high school, I have had it fly out of my ear a few times.
Okay.
But now I have figured out how to make sure it stays in my ear.
Okay.
But
that would be interesting at Pageant, twirling around and whoa, nope, it wasn't an earring.
That's usually what happens. But me and my choreographers work together to make sure that there is at least 4-second count of music before I start dancing.
Just to make sure.
That way, if people are cheering, if I can't hear the music right away, then I'm able to have like a little bit of a buffer and then start moving.
Yes.
I also am very good at advocating for myself and telling the sound people, hey, I'm deaf. This needs to be really loud.
Yes. Okay. Gosh, things I wouldn't have even thought of. That's really cool, Alli. Thank you for sharing about that. Yeah. All right. Let me see. I have one more question that I want to ask you. And that is, what are you doing that is really fun for you that is completely not related to pageant? Because we need to have a life outside of pageant, right? So share with me something else that you're doing. Oh my, there must be something really big.
So, my mom and I do 1,000-piece puzzles together in our free time.
Wow.
We have 2 completed, and we're working on a 3rd one.
Okay.
I'm also a notary.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got a cool new job, I just heard.
Yeah.
Yeah? And so what's that?
I'm the director of first impressions for a private wealth management company in Silverdale.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And your primary clientele would be?
Retirees.
I love that. I love that. And so we're doing puzzles. Yeah. And we're working with retirees. And so what are you doing with people your own age? I know you have a bestie in the pageant world. What do you girls do when you get together?
Usually when we're together, it's for like a weekend, just because I'll either come down to Olympia or she'll drive to Port Orchard. Yeah. And generally we just kind of hang out. Yeah. Yeah. We don't really ever plan anything. We went to another pageant girl's wedding not too long ago. Yeah. So that was fun. We were each other's dates.
I love that. Yeah. So fun. Okay. So I just have to say, old soul. Just an old soul. So much maturity.
They call me the grandma in our friend group because I do puzzles. I go to bed at like 9. I go to work and come home. I'm like, okay.
You're just responsible. Very responsible. Yes. I love it. Alli, it's been delightful to talk with you. Is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you really wanted to talk about today?
I think so.
No? Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to work with you. It's a pleasure to spend time with
excited.
You. Yes. And I can't wait to watch you on your journey as you head through the Miss West Sound experience again this year. Yeah. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.